Onu koyamadım.
Onu oraya koyamıyorsanız direkt şey yapın, share yapın Zoom'dan. O zaten gözükecek abi.
So we are starting right now.
Hello, dear. Hola, hola, ¿cómo están? How are you?
Okay, we are live right now, please.
Okay.
Okay, good evening, everybody.
Good evening. Hello.
Good evening, Mr. Ferhat, how are you?
I need to mute everybody quickly. We are live right now, please. Okay, good evening, everybody. This is Dr. Ferhat Öztürk from Raindrop Foundation, San Antonio. Mr. Ferhat, how are you? And but I would like to welcome you all for our Colors of San Antonio 2021 Gala. So this year, our theme under the DreamWeek event, our theme is the pursuit of happiness during the COVID-19 among the Latinos of San Antonio. So I'll just briefly give information about Colors of San Antonio and Raindrop Foundation. So Raindrop Foundation was established in 2005 in San Antonio, Texas, and then it's our 15th year here. And our main goal is to promote global fellowship and dialogue and interfaith dialogue among the global San Antonians. And for this reason, we have been organizing Colors of San Antonio previously every month, but right now once in a year time. So to give a venue for the different cultures of San Antonians from different countries. And by this way, we can share the food, culture, music, and all other attractions from our own countries. And this year, again, our focus is pursuit of happiness during the COVID-19 pandemic among the Latinos of San Antonio. Tonight, we have distinguished speakers from Mexico, Argentina, Peru, Colombia, and Puerto Rico. So, and then tonight we have we also have Imam Beytullah Çolak, who was the establisher or who was the major runner of Colors of San Antonio for several years. And he currently moved to Pennsylvania. And I would like to invite Imam Beytullah to welcome our listeners, welcome our audience. Please welcome Imam Beytullah.
Hello, good evening, buenas tardes, how are you? How's it going, San Antonio? Hope to see you, Mr. Ricardo, Daniel, Señora Leonor Houston, and Lila Swain, and Gabriela Kolak. What a nice meeting with you. Yeah, it's difficult time for everybody, you know, but united with our friends, with our family members, with our neighbors, I think will be more easy. So I hope Colors of San Antonio program can help, and in that sense, to unite different colors, different race, different religions, different colors. So I'm in Pennsylvania, spreading education in Respect Graduate School. Whenever you are in East Coast, you come to visit Philadelphia, New York, or New Jersey, please come to visit us. And I was having in Raindrop Turkish House, always Turkish tea, sometimes Turkish coffee too. You will have same here too, in Bethlehem, Pennsylvania. So I'm very happy to greet you. Happy New Year. I hope and pray 2021 will better in every sense. So peace and blessings to everybody. Have a good evening and successful event.
Thank you so much, Imam Beytullah. It is great to see you with us tonight. And thank you again. So today we will start with Leonor Houston, I believe. So Andres Urbano is not here yet. Am I right? Leonor, you are muted. Hello? Leonor, you are muted. I cannot hear you. Can you please unmute yourself?
Okay, can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Okay. Well, let's see. It was Lilia talking for Andres Urbano.
Okay. So, okay, we will start with the Lilia then. Okay, sorry for that. Okay, I would like to introduce Lilia very briefly. Lilia was born in Argentina, come to this country 40 years ago, and she went to school in Columbia, Missouri to study international business along with her husband, to later move to Venezuela for 2 years. And later she came back to the United States and lived in Maryland, Dallas, Houston, and finally to stay in San Antonio and raise their 5 children. She has been working with Rainbow Play system in the international division, which allows her to use her studies by communicating with 25 clients from different countries. She works as volunteer in Family History Center to help other people to find their ancestors through all the tools available to them. It's a very interesting project. She also is part of the board of directors of CoSA Argentina de San Antonio, where is an opportunity to share Argentinian culture with San Antonians and anybody who's interested in learning about it through many different events. So please welcome Lilia Swain from Argentina. Welcome, Lilia. Please
Lilia,
unmute yourself.
yeah, Lilia, it was a mistake. Lilia is from Colombia, pero is presenting Shasa. I'm Leonor from Argentina.
Okay, I'm so sorry that the information was kind of confused on the form that was filled.
No problem.
Okay, sorry. So whom I introduced right now?
Lilia
Leonor,
Swain.
Yeah, Lilia. I would like to speak on behalf of Mr. Urbano.
Okay, I'm sorry for the confusion. So Lilia, please, I would like to welcome you to talk instead of Andres Urbano to introduce Sasha to us.
Thank you very much. My name is Lilia Swain, Vice President of the Sociedad Cultural Hispanoamericana in San Antonio, Texas, which is a non-profit organization created in 2015. Its mission is to promote the culture and traditions of our 15 Latin American countries with festivals, folkloric dances, arts and crafts, presentations to government institutions, schools, and private businesses. In the name of Mr. Andres Urbano, CoSA's president, I would like to thank you for the invitation to showcase the diversity of the Latin Hispanic people in San Antonio. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for the great introduction of Sasha. So, Leonor, who is speaking next, may I ask?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, sorry. The introduction was about Leonor Houston, so she will be representing Argentina with Gabriela Cholak.
Yes. Okay, gracias. Thank you. I was trying to print my talk, but I guess for whatever reason the printer is not working. But anyway, I'm gonna try to do my best. The one things, as many of you know me already, I also, I'm from Argentina, so I represent Argentina and this Latino American community in San Antonio. But also, I'm part of CoSA also. This, so Lilia Swain introduced the organization, which is wonderful. Organization that we are like umbrella for all these Latin American countries. So we start with four countries, and now we have 15. So I'm part of the CoSA organization, and also I'm part of CoSA Argentina de San Antonio. And then at the same time, I'm representing right now, as my origin from Argentina. No, I've been, like you said, I've been many years in this country. I learned the culture. I raised my family, which I'm very happy, and all my beautiful children and my grandkids. And then the opportunity that I have going to different places, I say international kids because I was 2 in Missouri, 2 in Venezuela, 2, 1 in Texas, in different states, but also give me the opportunity to enjoy all the things. And as a Latina and from Argentina, I learned this culture in the United States who embraced me very good. And I just say, I'm very grateful. But also, I just want to say that, as a Latina, in the beginning of the pandemic, that's the main point that we are talking. I think for all of us, it was like a shocking because we were not, it's something we didn't expect, we never experienced in this generation. And then all of a sudden, it was like we were in shock, we were stand still. The cool clothes, the not working, being at home, being isolated from our family, immediate family, only our own in our own home. And we were kind of scared because we didn't know, when you don't know, the unknown is scary. But slowly, after they're going to be in the 10th month, we were able to cope with all the situation. So now I was just thinking, what is the role in the social media in my case? I think in the social media, if you are constantly like that, then you can listen good news and you can listen bad news. So we can listen things that uplift us or things that are bullying us. And because the media is like it's a Spanish says, espada de doble filo. It's a double-sided sword because from the same mouth, we use the tongue, that you can say beautiful words, kind, loving, or you can say hating words and things. So that's what I see the social media. If you are constantly forget about your family they have next to you and just all day on the phone or listening in the news and everything, it kind of makes you depressed. And that's what is important to see what we choose for our own, our own good. That's very important. So I was trying to think, okay, what we can do to turn resilience to all the situation. And I said, okay, I can watch movies and forget about the world. So kind of make me happy when I see all those things. Also, I can learn a new language or maybe perfect more English, speak better. I can learn an instrument, a new language. I can write a book. And one of the things that my kids or my family always tell me that my life has been very interesting from day one and coming to this country. So I have a lot of, many things that I can write. They said always my life story is very good, laughing, funny, and experiences. So maybe I can do that. And I said, by thinking all these positive things, I think that we can really feel better to ourselves. And I feel like, for example, my hobby always was dancing. So I can dance in front of the mirror like nobody's watching, and also forget about the world.
Will you do that now?
Yeah, I need to put the music on.
Okay,
So,
feel free.
so I think all those things, you know, it can help us, especially myself, because it's as individual, to learn to do and see the good things in life that can give us and bring us to us. Always is it, what can be the ingredients that I can acquire to be happy when I'm in the home? And I tell you, my life has been like this. You know, been 10 months now that I'm working from home. So I only go to the store. I go to church 1 hour on Sundays. Then I have my children that I do visit. And then I work in my church, overview in 3,000 women, so we can help them too. So all those things help me to cope, even which I'm very grateful to have the Zoom technology so we can visit. Like, you know, I was telling Gabriela today that I can, when my grandson was ordained deacon in the church, and it was ordained by the priesthood, we were through Zoom, we can all see the entire family when he received, you know, his priesthood as a deacon. So it was wonderful, which all this technology now that we cannot see physically be together, we can see still each other. So I was thinking that we can do that and, you know, be happy because, you know, especially as Latino, we like to embrace ourselves. We like to gather for any occasion. We can, you know, always set a good occasion for a toast. So we can, because we like to be together, to embrace, to go picnics, in, eat, you know, celebrate situations, anything, any occasion to be together. So, you know, all those things that we can think, how to be resilient, how to be positive, how we can use the time positive to learn things, because since we are at home, maybe we can, you know, one of the language, in my case, it will be improve my English, but also we like to learn Italian. So I said, all the things, you know, we can do to improve ourselves and look life as a positive way.
Okay,
Okay, I don't know if my time passed, but I just want to introduce Gabriela. She is going to be she's my co-partner in this presentation. I'm very grateful that she agreed to be with me this afternoon and, you know, and do the others part in as an Argentine and in the country. Now,
she's a great San Antonian. So, Gabriela, would you like to introduce yourself? Welcome.
Thank you. I'm glad to be here. Thank you, Lenore, for letting me know about the event. My name is Gabriela Colac or Cholac. I'm from Argentina. I moved to San Antonio in 2012, 11, 12, I don't remember precisely. It was many years ago. So we live here with my firstborn, Santiago. And then in 2014, Benjamin came. So I have 2 kids. But now, since last year, 2 years ago, I live with my family in Pennsylvania. But I'm very familiarized with San Antonio. I lived many years in San Antonio. San Antonio is in my heart. Whenever we have the opportunity to go back, without any doubt, I'll be there. I love San Antonio. I love Texas. But in these presentations,
we are missing San Antonio, and we are missing you as well here. So please welcome anytime.
We miss San Antonio very, very much.
You're a great cultural ambassador, so thank you.
All my friends are there, and also the Argentinian community, CoSA Argentina, is an important place. Very nice people, and they're, you know, open events to the public. So everybody who's interested about Argentina, they can reach the CoSA Argentina webpage or through Facebook. And I was very involved with CoSA Argentina too when I was there. But tonight I would like to talk more about the perspective of the pandemic from an Argentinian that has the entire family in Argentina. And my mom is here visiting me. She came in the middle of the pandemic. So I believe that I have that point of view also. As many as you may know, Argentina is a South American country. And the pandemic the COVID affects Argentina as well, and affected very much at the very beginning, because as any other country, the president and the people of Argentina didn't know what to do or what was it at the very beginning. I believe we had the most longest quarantine among the continent, because from March, I don't remember how many days, but around 190 days or 200 days of quarantine, like meaning the government decreed the people can go outside a certain time according with the last names. And, it was very, very much structured. How can you go outside? How can you interact? Everything was closed. It was very, very hard at the very beginning, hard for the people, hard psychologically, hard also economically, of course, very hard. But at the end, we are in the top of one of the most infected countries of America. So with this virus, nobody knows what to do. Nobody knew what was good to do at that time.
Do you think the restrictions were a little bit late, or like the restrictions put were okay? What do you think about it?
I believe and this is with Argentinian personality. Leonor was saying we're very friendly. We like to go outside. So I believe, I don't know, something happened there in between. People wanted to go outside. They have the restriction, but the restriction was not very followed by the government. So people went anyway outside, and the interact is part of our personality, I guess, like any Latino personality, but especially the Argentinian is also very influenced by the Italian culture. So from everywhere, whatever you see in Argentina, you have all that combination: Latino personality, Italian background, Hispanic background. And I have something here with me. This is called mate. It's our national drink. And it was, I mean, sounds funny, but it was very hard. And I know for my family and my friends, everybody in Argentina, while they're at school or working, they share the mate. Anytime, any time of the day, hot water, yerba mate inside. This is empty, but usually it's like a green tea, bigger than a green tea, and you put it inside, and you share with people. One of the first restrictions, of course, was not to share the mate anymore. And that was very hard, because it's something that we always do, always. And I remember at the beginning, I was like, well, I mean, it's fine. Yeah, it was fine for me because I live outside Argentina, so I don't have many people to share with. But for people there, it was very, very hard to do it. Among one of the things, but this is a special condiment that only happened, I guess, in Argentina and maybe Uruguay, because they share the same tradition. But since the COVID start, I believe it's everywhere, but especially in Argentina, as far as I know, in Argentina, affected more old people and very young people. The young people, my kids, for example, they live here, but they have friends in Argentina, and I have friends with daughters and sons in Argentina. Psychologically, it was very, very hard for the kids not going to school or having school online. And the interaction with peers was very hard not to have it. And for everybody, the economic aspect was very hard. But for all people like my mom is here, and she came in the middle of the pandemic because she cannot live anymore there. It was a lot of restrictions. She cannot go to my sister's house. She felt like she needed more freedom. At the same time, of course, she understands about the, the healthy restrictions in order not to get the COVID. But it was very hard at the very beginning in Argentina. So she decided to come, a direct flight from Argentina to New York. We went to the New York airport to be with her and to pick her up. But she feels, she can compare, and she feels more freely and to use the freedom of what to do here than in Argentina. And I'm not talking about wearing the mask or, going to many places. No, it's just more, probably it's the structure of the country and how you can walk outside your neighborhood here. And in the city, in Buenos Aires, it's too crowded, people everywhere, all the time. So I believe it's because she's from the city. Probably someone from the north of Argentina will be more freely to go outside and to do whatever they're doing.
Actually, we pretty much experienced very similar thing. My mother-in-law with us during the COVID time, and then she couldn't fly back to Turkey. After 9 months, she was able to fly back with the first flight because she missed her village a lot. And then she arrived at the village, but she could not leave home. Nobody came to visit her. And it was like a very hard time for her because then she started complaining and even crying. They said, people doesn't come here. I cannot go anywhere. I mean, this is very bad. And we told her, okay, you should better stay with us because you can sit in front of the home. We can go to the parks. We can go different places. So now she's willing to come back. So I can see how especially the seniors can feel the difference.
Yes.
I mean, the freedom here is much more available than back home.
And I believe it's very, very much related with how the country or is a structure, because probably your mom, maybe I don't know if she's from Istanbul or she lives in Istanbul.
No, she's in Western Turkey. She's from a village in Aydın. So.
Okay, but still, the structure of the country is you can walk to places, you can go outside, and people can come to your house. You go. Here is more, you have your privacy. The neighborhoods are structured in a different, geographically speaking, is different. So I believe the same thing you're saying, the same thing was my mom feeling there. And she feels more free to do things here.
Can you briefly touch up, how did you cope with these? I mean, how were you able to, pursue the happiness in these hard times with your family, with your kids, with your, mother, loved ones, maybe in a couple of minutes so we can continue?
Yes. It's very hard. I don't want to lie about it because it's hard for everyone. But I believe in our spirit. Leonor was mentioning a lot of things that happen here in my house. Like my older son, started to learn Latin. He was interested in that language, and he find a teacher online. He's learning once a week. Our job, I got access to teach online to universities that I really like, and I never thought that I will be teaching, but now it's a possibility. So it brings happiness to our family economically, but also like it's something that I always wanted to do, and this was the perfect time to do it because you can apply online and you got those possibilities that before was very improv. I mean, I don't think it was something that I will achieve in the past. So there is a good part of the pandemic, this pursuit of happiness, and a lot of things that Leonor was mentioning happened in my house, especially at the very beginning. Dancing, the communication with Argentina all the time, because with the internet we have access to everything. So, for example, I still connect every Tuesday with 2 friends from Argentina, but they live in San Antonio, and we have a meeting every Tuesday. They're in San Antonio, I'm here in Pennsylvania, we are all from Argentina. So every Tuesday, 6 p.m. for them, 7 for me, we have a meeting. And
so you have the social Zooming, or Zoom cafes, so which is very effective, I believe.
And I believe
did you share your mocha through the Zoom, or? Yeah,
we have the mate.
Mate, and then you shared it with together?
Well, the
mate.
And Leonor knows them. It's Lorena and Natalia, and they used to be my friends.
I have my mate too, look.
Yeah.
I have my iron here.
But this
so
is
mate, you put sugar, hot water,
okay,
and we drink it.
Okay.
Sugar for me, but yes. And we share that with the internet, and we say, Actually, our group in WhatsApp, the name of the group is Mateada, like to drink mate. And the three of us, hey, let's see, I mean, it's 6 p.m. Who is going to send the Zoom link? So, and we drink mate online every Tuesday. And that is happiness to me. It's something happy that I do. And all these things, the dancing, the work, learning a new language, that's very much in our spirit, I guess, as Argentinians. So I think that that was a way for everybody. Even my friends in Argentina, they're doing the same stuff, the same kind of things, like learning new languages, now going to sports and adapting to wear masks everywhere. But this is what it is, and now hoping for the vaccine. So
okay.
And
I hope things will get better soon, and then you will share your mate again with your friends. Thank you so much, Gabriela. Thank you so much, Leonor. I mean, I really enjoyed your thoughts. I mean, your experiences, how to pursue the happiness during the COVID-19 as an Argentinian. And I really like the idea of sharing the, mate with your friends, the Zoom.
Yeah.
And I'm glad your kids has learned Latin and you were able to teach on those colleges, and which is very impressive. So I'm glad you had a very nice time. Thank you so much. And I'd like to continue with Lilia Swain. And we'll have if you have questions from our audience, so please, the YouTube viewers, please write your questions or comments on the YouTube chat box. So we will be happy to ask them to our speakers through the end of our program. So after the speakers are done. So I'd like to continue with Lilia Swain. So, so our next speaker is Lilia Swain from Colombia. So Lilia was born in Bogota, Colombia, and married, and she's a retired web developer, designer. So she's residing in San Antonio for the last 40 years. I mean, it's a good amount of time. She's San Antonian, more than Colombian, I believe. And then, so currently she is the CoSA's vice president, as we have introduced at the beginning. So please welcome Lilia.
Thank you. My name is Lilia Swain, as he said, mentioned it before, and I mentioned it before also. The city of San Antonio has experienced dramatic growth of Colombians in the past 10 years. The San Antonio community recognized Colombia for its unique traditions, culture, music, gastronomy, arts and crafts, and the country's natural beauty. Colombians in general are happy people. Spending time with family and friends is key to their happiness. In these challenging times, Colombians rely on phones, the internet, virtual meetings, and social media to keep up with friends and family. For several Colombians residing in San Antonio, being at home during this pandemic is less stressful than before, which they spend much of their time driving to and from work, taking the children to childcare, school, medical appointments. The majority of Colombians in San Antonio are working from home, and they are very happy doing it. Others have done some long put-off projects, taking classes online, learning a new trade, a language, sharing home cooking with recipes, and most importantly, are spending more time with their children, husband, or wife. Colombians are missing embracing their friends and family in gatherings, parties, community service, and cultural events. They are celebrating birthdays and special occasions via online or drive-through. December is a very special month for Colombians. This month is full of many traditions like el Día de las Velitas and the traditional novena al Niño Dios, baby Jesus. The novena, which consists of gathering family and friends in their homes to pray and share traditional foods for 9 consecutive days, starting on December 16. The 2020 celebration was conducted via Zoom. It was somehow different, but it was wonderful to be able to continue traditions amid the circumstances we are experiencing in present times. Even during difficult times, we can always find happiness taking time to wind down and distract ourselves with things we love, like playing with the children, cooking, exercising, doing crafts, going to work and school, to mention a few. Colombians have come to rely on media and social channels more than ever to educate, inform, and entertain themselves. We all know someone that have or perhaps passed away due to the COVID-19. This pandemic is teaching us that the simple joys of life, especially love and kindness, will see us through both good and bad times. I mentioned before that Colombians are happy people. Please enjoy this video.
En las cejas hoy, el rápido medio de ser, bicicletas, bicis y montañas, hoy tus artistas te tocan con el alma. En las cejas hoy, el rápido medio de ser, flores y bicicletas, bicis y montañas, hoy tus artistas te tocan con el alma. Cantemos todos, grito de paz y alegría, y vemos siempre queremos a nuestra patria querida. Su suelo es una oración y es un canto de la vida. Su suelo es una oración y es un canto de la vida. Colombia, tierra querida, grito de fe y armonía. Cantemos todos, grito de paz y alegría. Vivemos siempre vivemos a nuestra patria querida. Su suelo es una oración y es un canto de la vida. Su suelo es una oración y es un canto de la vida. Cantando, cantando yo viviré, Colombia, tierra querida. Cantando, cantando yo viviré, Colombia, tierra querida. Cantando, cantando yo viviré, Colombia, tierra querida. Cantando, cantando yo viviré, Colombia, tierra querida.
Thank you so much, Luya, for this great
You're
music.
welcome.
I don't know if you're supposed to see the screen, but I saw
Okay,
you.
I'm going to close it right now. Yeah. Yes. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for joining us today, Lilia, and appreciate your presence today. And thank you so much for sharing. And it was great. I mean, you had those 9-day prayers and you were able to do it through the Zoom. And what was the event's name again?
Swain.
On December 26th, Swain?
Swain, yes.
So what does literally it mean?
Swain, that's my husband's last name.
No. The December 26th event that you had 9 days of celebrations. Sorry.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I didn't understand what you say. Oh, the celebration is a novena. We pray and share food, traditional food, for 9 days. We start the 16th of December until the 24th of December.
So it's a preparation for the Christmas, am I right?
It's in Christmas, yes, during the Christmas, the 9 days of Christmas instead of 12. Yes.
I see. That's great. Okay, thank you so much. Appreciate your time.
You're very welcome.
Thank you. And right now we are moving with Ricardo Daniel. Ricardo is our guest speaker from Mexico or Mexico. So he is the president of cultural organization Ateneo de San Antonio. So please welcome Ricardo. Ricardo, can you please turn on your video? Okay, there you go, you're here.
Okay. Can you share your screen so I can put the presentation?
You can share your screen directly. Just click on the share screen and you'll be able to do that. There you go.
Okay, very well.
Can you please introduce yourself a little bit? I mean, I know you are just from Ateneo, San Antonio.
I'm Ricardo Daniel. I'm originally from Mexico. I've been in San Antonio about 40 years or so, long time. So I'm more San Antonian than Mexican, I should say. And I'm a member of CoSA, the Cultural Association of Latin American Countries, and we represent Mexico. We have done many cultural activities and history activities. We are in a group that we call Latineo, which is like the School of Athens. And we do a lot of historical research and different topics, cultural topics. So we can all understand one another better and enrich each other's lives.
Very good. Very good. Great to hear that. Okay, Ricardo, it's all yours. So thank you. Please go for the presentation.
Okay. The pandemic has caused havoc to all our lives. Everybody is suffering tremendously. And back in old Mexico, things are pretty bad. And there's no really a point in trying to tell you that everybody has a family, a relative member who is sick or dead, and that we're all struggling, trying to drink as much hot tea and lemonade as possible to be safe. But nevertheless, what do you do when you have this crisis? Well, we get together more with family, and we go back to our old traditions and history. And we can share now, for example, tonight with all of you, what do we have that we can offer the world, what we can share that will make us understand our history and our heritage more. And in the case of Mexico, as you know, it has various climates, and that was very good for different fruits, different grains, and many old cultures. Mexico has a large variety of ethnic groups. As a matter of fact, the 3 countries with more ethnic groups in the world is India, China, and Mexico. And you can go down to Mexico and visit many, many wonderful museums in several cities, and you can learn and understand as much as you want. And now with the pandemic, it's an opportunity to learn more about Mexico and some of the things that Mexico has given to the world. There are several nations that happen in Mexico, but there are two great cultures that you can study if you're interested. One is the Aztec world, and the other one is the Maya world. The Maya was in the southeast of the country, and they were very cultured and educated people. They have a great knowledge of astrology and geometry as well as mathematics. As a matter of fact, NASA, the National Space Administration of the United States, used the Maya calendar in order to go to the moon. That is how precise the Maya calendar is today. And the reason we don't use it is because it's more complicated than the one we use. The Maya had a rich culture, and the corn came from that region of Mexico. The sea maize is the name of the corn, the official name for the grain that feeds all over the world. Between rice, sorghum, and wheat are the four big grains that feed every country. And not only Mexico has given us great culture, here's an example of what the Middle East has given the world. Here you have a fig in the desert, and not only figs, but dates and nuts and pistachios came from the Middle East. And we have all benefit from that culture, the food, the great foods that you can have from the Middle East. And in the case of Mexico, one of its greatest contribution is this one, the avocado, that grows in the central part of Mexico, and it has many medicinal benefits. As a matter of fact, one of the few items that we're supposed to eat in more now with the pandemic, the Chinese pandemic, is this, the avocado. And notoriously, Mexico is the largest producer of avocado in the world. But we also have this one, tomatoes. And in Mexico, you have two. You have the green tomatoes. Here in Texas, we call it tomatillos. And then we have the red ones. Most countries call it tomatoes. In Mexico, they call it jitomate to make a difference from the other one. But anyway, both are used very heavily into the Mexican food. And tomato has traveled all over the world. Tomato enriched the European cuisine. And today, one asks ourselves, what would be of Italian food without pasta, without tomato sauce? Imagine yourselves the world without tomato paste for a pizza or for a lasagna. So that's one of the greatest contributions of Mexican agriculture to the world. And here's another one.
I cannot think about pizza without tomato sauce. So
that's right. So it is not Italian, it's really from Mexico, but it's for the benefit of everyone. And here we have one that is suspicious. You see, coffee is chocolate. Well, chocolate came from old Mexico, and coffee came from the Middle East. But now you find both of them, especially in the southeast of Mexico. There's the state of Veracruz and the state of Chiapas that produce an awful lot of Arabica seeds for coffee. And the other one, let me see. The other one is cocoa. Cocoa is native also from the south of Mexico. And when the Spanish conquistadores arrived, they brought the coffee seeds into Mexico. And now Mexico is a great producer, as well as Brazil and Colombia, of coffee, and many, many other countries now. But cocoa was always part of the Mexican traditions. And here's an old painting in a museum that refers to cocoa. The Aztec Indians in the central part of Mexico worship cocoa so much that they use the kernels, the seeds, as coins. You know, it was a very valuable thing. Not only so, that only the higher authorities of the Aztec world will be able to consume the cocoa product, which is chocolate. Chocolate is native of Mexico. It was handled very heavily by the Aztecs. And when Cortés arrived in Mexico City, after they had some meetings, the Aztec says, now we're going to give you a beverage to celebrate. Like some countries now, they celebrate with champagne or wine. Well, the Aztecs celebrated with a cup of cocoa, of chocolate. And it was rather bitter and it was unsweet back then. But they like it and they send the idea to Europe. The royal family of Spain kept the secret of chocolate for 100 years until it was smuggled into what we call today Belgium. And then the Europeans added a bit of sugar and a bit of milk, and it became the chocolate that we know today. We couldn't conceive life without chocolate. And now that we have the pandemic, many people are doing their own homemade chocolate from scratch. And there's a big region of the south part of Mexico that drinks a lot of chocolate. And there are many versions of it, white chocolate, dark chocolate. So it's not Milton Hershey's from Pennsylvania that discovered chocolate. No, it was done by Mexico. And today we couldn't imagine not living with a hot cocoa at night, or even going to the corner to get some chocolate donuts. So there is a lot of richness came from Mexico. The interaction of agriculture between different continents, and that has enabled us to have a better life. And we need to remember that we have a better life in this century, regardless of the difficulties of the pandemic. We still have our family, our friends, our foods, our music, and our wonderful traditions. And we don't have more time to do this further, but perhaps we can do a bigger and longer presentation of some of the wonderful things that Mexico has given to the world in terms of food, customs, traditions, and music.
It looks like anything that we enjoy comes from Mexico, huh?
Yes.
Like the coffee, the
and
cocoa.
it's for everyone to share, yes.
Avocado, tomato. Wow, we owe a lot.
And there are a few more.
Okay, go for it.
Okay, well, that's basically all. And
Uh-huh.
I'd love to hear some questions because we don't have a lot of time left.
Okay. So actually, thank you so much for your talk, Ricardo. I mean, we really enjoyed what Mexico has contributed to the world history. And what about the pandemic time? I mean, so you were able to enjoy these with your friends, or you just follow the personal happiness with the all of the enjoyment that you have?
Well, the reality is that in Mexico, the pandemic has caused havoc. There's quite a few of sick people and dead people. They have contradicted themselves. The government has done a very bad job. But a lot of people have fought with their families and have gone forward. They have done a lot of old family recipes, a lot of drinking tea, a lot of lemonade, a lot of honey, hot water, and lemon in the morning and in the afternoon. And that has kept people alive, but economically it's in very bad shape. And let's not talk the negative. Let's see the positive. There's still plenty of music. For Christmas, I was in a city on the coast named Veracruz. And Veracruz is notoriously known for a lot of good music. And yes, there was the pandemia. They were not in red, they were in green on those days. And I noticed in downtown, they had two big bands and people were dancing left and right, having a wonderful life, drinking orange juice, squish orange juice.
That's very good. Okay, so thank you so much. So you can stop sharing your screen if you would like, and then we can get back to the questions from our audience. And thank you again, I mean, Leonor, Lilia, Ricardo, Gabriela, for all your contributions for tonight's talk for Colors of San Antonio. And actually, we have one question, and I don't know who would like to answer this. Maybe you can answer based on your own country's choices. So the question is this: in Turkey, there are many rumor remedies to fight COVID-19, like drinking pickle water or sage tea, or like eating the olive leaves. Do you have these kind of like interesting remedies to fight COVID-19? I mean, I'm not against traditional medicine. By the way, I study honey and I study medicinal honey for about like 7-8 years now. So I truly believe and support and promote traditional medicine, but it has to be evidence-based, like with the science backed up, so or scientific research backed up. But what about you? I mean, how do the people use different homemade medications, I would say? I mean, Ricardo has touched base a little bit about honey, lemonade, and with other things, but what do you think, Lilia? I mean, let's start with you. What kind of homemade medications or remedies that the Colombians use back home or even here?
Definitely lemon and honey. Definitely teas, a lot of hot teas, a lot of hot water, or just water, hot water and lemon. That's one of the main remedies for the COVID. And of course, chicken soup.
Yeah,
Best
chicken soup is a remedy for everything.
Yes, chicken soup was the best one. Yeah.
Nice. Okay, what about you, Leonor? You are muted, Leonor. Okay.
I was thinking, my kids always tease me, even at work. They say that by drinking mate, I never get sick. You always are, you know, I tell my grandkids, I'm 100 years old. And they said, what? They said, yeah, because my mate, you know, is the youth.
Okay, is every mate the same? Can we buy mate from Starbucks or Panera? Is it the same mate that, or
no, because even as a green tea is, you know, it still is made in Argentina, so you have to go to the specialty stores.
So
Well,
is there
you know, Alibaba,
or we can drink, or should we come to your home to drink that?
Alibaba sells the yerba, right?
Yeah, Alibaba.
Yerba.
Yeah,
okay.
Yerba mate. Yeah, let me see. Let me get it.
Okay, maybe you may want to share the recipe with us.
No, but you know, the package of yerba mate looks similar to the Turkish tea.
Okay.
It's pretty much the different color, but it's the same package. Imagine something like that.
Oh, I see the Cruz de Malta. Okay, I saw
it.
Okay.
Uh-huh. Yeah, they have it over there.
Interested the mate, the Argentinian mate, which is a treatment. I mean, not treatment, but protection from different diseases. I mean, just go and get it.
Well, you know, you never know, but a lot of people say, you never get sick. You always look happy. And I said, yes, the mate is the only tradition. You know, I've been in this country for what? Over 40 years. So I'm still drinking mate. And I think it's because my own tradition. You know, it's kind of like I don't want to leave the mate because it's my representation of Argentina.
Very good.
And at the same time, you know, I don't drink with anybody. My kids don't like mate, but I just don't, no problem. You know, I drink them in my own. It's kind of like a people just sit, read a book, have a cup of coffee when I have a mate instead. So, but it is good, you know, tastes good. I like sweet. Some people like no sugar at all. So it is very good.
That's very good. I mean, a lot of benefits of mate and honey lemonade from Lilia and Ricardo. Gabriela, do you want to add something else? I mean, what kind of drinks or maybe any traditional medication that you may, that they use back home or here maybe?
No, I think it's the same that they say because it's, you know, generally speaking everywhere. The chicken soup and the lemon and honey, but especially I was thinking today, early to this Zoom, because of the cost, the economic cost of medicine here,
Mhm.
And a lot of people from our countries, some of them, they cannot afford it. Even myself, sometimes it's very expensive to go to the doctor. So
Mhm.
I believe it's something about our people, especially Argentinians, some Argentinians that I know from San Antonio, friends, they start to look more into the nature to see what can they drink or what can they found or what our abuelitas or grandmas used to drink when they have a flu or a cold. So as far as I know, or
Mhm.
if I compare my friends there in Argentina, my friends in San Antonio, for example, I believe my friends in San Antonio used to be more, used to know more about the natural medicine and herbs,
I see.
because in Argentina the medicine is pretty cheap. You have free public hospitals,
So you don't need to
so
go
it's
for
more accessible to people. So I believe that's something that might be interesting to analyze. That maybe
very,
people
very interesting.
that cannot afford the traditional
Sure.
medicine.
So it's
I
the
see.
home remedy, you know,
Yeah,
Yeah.
Remedy.
remedios caseros.
yeah.
That's okay, very good. Okay, we have just one more question. So, like, there are some, like, for example, again, back home in Turkey, we listen from YouTube or from social media that people are writing COVID-19 songs at different, like, relevant with Corona or Corona, yaktın beni, Corona, kind of like, you just burned me out. So do you have any song that you may sing about COVID or Corona from back home, like in your own language?
Oh, definitely we do. We have songs and dancing also.
Oh, the Corona dance? Okay.
Oh yes,
But,
funny videos.
Mhm.
They have cartoons. They have dances. They have romantic songs. They have silly songs. They have all kinds of songs.
I
Yes.
see. Okay.
Because the COVID, you mean?
COVID-19. Yeah.
Yeah, you know, it was because you know in Mexico they had the Corona beer.
Yeah. The coronavirus.
Yeah, that's cool.
So it was somebody sent me this little cartoon where the Corona beer, it was one beer in the refrigerator and it was Corona. So the Corona was in the corner, you know, this person opened the refrigerator and the Corona beer was in the corner with a mask and afraid that the people are going to come and get him because it was
Oh, yeah.
It is very interesting.
the Corona beer.
Okay, the Corona. Okay. One last thing before we finish. It's 7:06 p.m. And again, we have like Lilia. She played the song, but we weren't able to see it because there was a glitch on the video or the screen sharing. So Lilia, would you please share your song once more with us?
One more time. I think this time.
Okay. Yes. Now it is. You are on screen.
Oh, good.
Okay. So maybe I can do this.
Okay. It's in the PowerPoint.
Yeah, I did it in PowerPoint. That'll be a lot easier
Okay.
than just the regular video. Let me know if you see it.
Make full screen.
El camino me vio nacer, flores y bicicletas, música y montaña, con tus artistas te toca con el alma. En la ceja soy, el camino me vio nacer, flores y bicicletas, música y montaña, con tus artistas te toca con el alma. Colombia, tierra querida, himno de fe y armonía. Cantemos, cantemos todos, grito de paz y alegría. Vivemos, siempre vivemos a nuestra patria querida. Su suelo es una oración y es un canto de la vida. Su suelo es una oración y es un canto de la vida.
about the sound today?
Colombia, te hiciste grande con el furor de tu gloria. La América toda canta la adoración de tu historia. Y vemos siempre vivemos a nuestra patria querida. Tu suelo es una oración y es un canto de la vida. Tu suelo es una oración y es un canto de la vida. Cantando, cantando yo viviré. Colombia, tierra querida. 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 Cantando, cantando yo viviré. Colombia, tierra querida.
I have to share the video from tango.
Yes.
It was all mixed up. Very good. Thank you so much. I mean, with very good performances.
Oh yeah, I'm glad you were able to see it.
Yeah, that was very nice this time.
Yes,
Thank
I'm
you.
glad too.
So you can stop sharing your screen if you like.
Yeah, I
And
will
we'll
do that.
just- Okay, so we are close to the end of our meeting tonight. I mean, our program. And again, thank you so much, Leonor, Gabriela, Lilia, Ricardo, for joining us tonight. I mean, it was such a joy to celebrate the colors of San Antonio with you, with the theme of Pursuit of Happiness during the COVID-19 among the Latinos of San Antonio. So thank you so much again, and I wish you to see in our future programs.
You're
Have a great
welcome.
evening.
We are very happy.
for
Thank
inviting.
you. Yeah, thank you for inviting us. It was a pleasure. Okay.